You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Most writers and radio show hosts know that to connect with your fans, you need to do more than just write books or record the latest podcasts. There are many different elements that go into forming an online platform, but there are also many hidden traps. To make matters worse, solid advice on how to survive the muddy waters is scarce. In the book Hidden Traps, I talk about some of the important issues of working with an online platform, highlighting traps that could put your physical or internet security at risk or be harmful to your reputation. Are your social media posts just links with a few disjointed words, making you look like someone who can't complete a sentence? Did your new website cost you more than you anticipated? Are you leaking your personal contact details across the web without even knowing it? Then you need Hidden Traps. Although Hidden Traps is not officially released until August 1st, you can pre-order your paperback or ebook copy now from a variety of retailers, including Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Kobo. Visit blackwolfpublications.com for more details.
Here's George Foreman with InventHelp.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp has been helping inventors for more than 30 years and has sales offices nationwide. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. If you have an idea and want to try to patent it and submit it to companies, you should call InventHelp today for free information.
Listen, I can't guarantee a company will be interested in your idea, but I believe every inventor deserves the opportunity to step into the ring and take their best shot. Put InventHelp in your corner.
Get your free inventor's information. Call 1-800-353-6490. That's 1-800-353-6490. Again, 1-800-353-6490.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it, there to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-553-8687. That's 800-553-8687. Again, 800-553-8687. 8687.
You're listening to the Spark Radio Network, internet radio like you've never heard before. Innovation, creativity, and imagination are all said to begin with a spark. So fasten your seatbelt and take the ride of your life and listen for the spark.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
My name is Jessie. I'm a United States Special Forces widow. This gives me a unique perspective on the world around us. If you're willing to listen, I'll tell you how I see it, and I won't pull any punches. This is my POV, which stands for Point of View.
All right, how y'all doing out there tonight? Yes, it's Jessie. Yes, I am very happy to be back with you live. Yes. Oh, you have no idea how much I missed you guys while I took some time off. What? You don't believe I missed you by now? Really? If you don't think I've missed you by now, how often do you actually tune in? Although I love you anyway, even if this is your first night. Alright, so we have more going on in the news, but you wouldn't have seen it or heard about it if you're glued to those major lamestream media news outlets. Because, well, I don't cover what they do. I really don't. I cover some of it. But then I go find stuff that they just don't think is worthy of their time. And I don't feel that the news about our men and women in uniform, the battles for Mosul, Iraq, what's going on with North Korea, ought to be distilled down to a 30-second soundbite. And you know that. You're longtime listeners. I know half of you out there have listened to many episodes. So, Kim Unpredictable. Well, who else would I be discussing? And for those of you new to the show, that's our sound effect for Quackers, aka Kim Jong-un, or sometimes referred to as the Lunatic of the North. Yes, he has a number of nicknames depending on what's going on and who's talking about him. Well, seems that everything is not all calm up north. But before I get into that, I do want to remind you all that you can always... There are 2 ways to interact with me while I'm online, or actually while I'm on air. And that would happen to be tag me in a tweet. Oh yes, my Twitter notifications is up and at it. Or just like Jeff and Ron, you can join me in the chat room at KLRNRadio.com. Yes. Anytime I'm live. Now, if you're one of those listeners on Memorex, how do you interact with me? Well, you can still tag me in a tweet. I might not be hanging out in the chat room, but you are more than welcome to shoot me an email at the station, Jessie's POV at KLRNRadio.com. So, thank you for Jeff for joining me in the chat room. Now, before I get started on all the serious show stuff, I've got another serious topic I want to discuss. And this one won't take long. I am calling on all of my listeners. I don't care if you agree with his politics. John McCain has been diagnosed with brain cancer. Please put him and his family in your thoughts and prayers. So, I don't care what you think about anything. This is a human being. He deserves your thoughts and prayers. Alright? Put your differences aside. I don't care if you're a Republican, Democrat, Independent, Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster, Cat Addicts fan. This is a man who has worn the uniform of our country, was a prisoner of war. These are facts. Don't get me started about what happened while he was prisoner, etc. Nope, not going there. Fact, he's worn the uniform of our country. Fact, he's a prisoner of war. Fact, he's been diagnosed with brain cancer. Fact, it costs you nothing to take a minute and send up a well wish, a thought, or a prayer. Alright, so now that I've got that request out of the way, we are going to get on with some of the sounds you're used to hearing around here. Well, that's my Christmas order. I've got my Christmas list out. Yes, I actually have my Christmas list. I keep it simple. Everybody gets a gift box from the same place every year. They send me a renewal, I fill out the form, send it back. Holiday shopping done by August 15th. So we're not going to discuss my Christmas list yet, although it's just my Christmas shopping is just one step away from done. All right. Show prep. You hear it every night. And no, it's not the same stack of paper. Trust me, my desk ain't that organized. And I'm grabbing some other paperwork off another desk next to me, because I've got a few things that I did not get to last night. So, I still can't believe China banned Winnie the Pooh. I mean, really? Chinese internet censors. Yes, if you didn't catch my show last night, I covered it right towards the end. Chinese internet censors are cracking down on Winnie the Pooh, our fun, honey-loving bear. All right. So, I've got some stuff about North Korea. Don't I always? Yeah, he always seems to be at it, but that's what keeps my show. And I've got some audio clips on this one too. No, I'm not going to put you through listening to another North Korean UN press conference. They're painful. I can understand them, but it takes me an hour. Alright, so the second highest ranking military officer in the United States told Congress on Tuesday that while North Korea clearly has missile capability to reach the United States, he doesn't think it's got the capacity to strike accurately. So, I've got a clip from Senator Imhoff and General Serva. Let's take a listen.
North Koreans have yet to demonstrate the capacity to do the guidance and control that would be required to take
Yes, no, I was only referring to range.
Yes, sir, on range, they clearly have the capability.
And, if they have the capability in range, the other improvements are perhaps not too far behind.
Yes, sir. We'll have to watch very carefully with the IC, the developments on those particular capabilities. I do agree with the intelligence community and others that the Democratic People's Republic of Korea is an arms proliferator. There's no evidence that they have engaged in proliferation of their long-range ballistic missile technology, but they have proliferated every other weapon system that they've ever invented. So it's a pretty clear pathway to the potential proliferation of these kinds of weapon systems.
All right, so don't take my word for it. Yes, North Korea is probably going to sell their ICBM technology down the river. And would you guys like to know who your host thinks will be the top person in line with a fistful of hard currency? None other than the state sponsor of terror, Iran. Oh yes, we are talking Iran. Now, you have heard me say many times on this show, not once, not twice, I feel like I just need to make it an audio clip. Iran and North Korea are trading partners. They trade scientists, they trade technology, they trade weapons. If one has it, the other is soon to follow. And let's not forget that many, many, many moons ago, yes, many moons ago, thankfully, it was destroyed, but North Korea sold a nuclear, yes, a nuclear plant to Syria. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, they did it. So, you don't remember that one? Let's take a listen.
10 years ago, the North Koreans transferred a plutonium production reactor to Syria. It was crushed by the Israelis. If it had not been crushed, that reactor could be providing plutonium not only to Syrians, but to others who have traipsed through Syria, and these are pretty unsavory folks. And that's an image that goes to nuclear terrorism we don't like to contemplate. So we need to somehow impress upon the North Koreans that's not a move we want to see again.
Like I said, they did it a little over a decade ago, my friends. Now, could you imagine what life would be like in Syria right now if Daesh had been able to get their hands on a plutonium reactor? Now, for those of you who do not recall how these things work, you put in uranium, you get out plutonium. Plutonium is the better one of the nuclear fissile materials to make a bomb. You want to know more? After we're done here, you get on over to Conversations in Science and check out the water. It's called Heavy Water episode. It was the very first episode, but it really does discuss a whole range of the nuclear reactor and how they work and what you put in, what you get out, and what you need to make the bombs. It may be titled Heavy Water, but boy, did Dr. Judy L. Moore and I, or Doc as I call her, we covered quite a bit. So if all this is flying over your head, you go hit up Conversations in Science after we're done. Learn a thing or two about a thing or two. You don't think I know all this off the top of my head without some teaching, do you? All right. So, let's look at this. We know that good old Kim Jong-un, aka Quackers around here, has developed an intercontinental ballistic missile with the range to reach the United States. Now, if you recall the other day, I had a handful of North Korean news articles. Yes, I actually braved the North Korean propaganda website for you folks. Just like I was trolling around on Press TV, Iran's news site for you today, folks. Yeah, if I can get there via cyberspace, I'll go. But I have no intention of walking the streets of Pyongyang anytime soon. Alright, so the North Korean news site, take it for what it's worth, had put out that the place on that missile where a nuclear warhead was had sensors in it, and nothing was wrong with it. It was completely stable, and in fact only went up to a temperature on re-entry of 45 degrees Celsius, which is a safe environment for a nuclear warhead. This is not good news. Alright, so the first North Korean article that caught my attention today was not about their missiles. Actually, it was one about Otto Warmbier and had to do with how they treat their detainees. And now, of course, we can't show video even if I could find it. A man can be seen beaten and tortured, his legs twisted repeatedly while he sits in the chair. A woman is repeatedly punched and kicked by a state security agent. You know, it's one of those things. Yeah, their version of arrest and get you to confess, there's no rights. So you can forget that concept. Now, of course, for those of you who don't know, Otto Warmbier died of severe brain damage, and his family did not elect to do an autopsy. So they say severe brain injury was mostly caused by cardiopulmonary arrest, basically cutting off the blood supply to his brain. So yes, so North Korea, the mafia state, has dumped Otto Warmbier on our doorstep. Then they launch an ICBM. Now we find out that they like selling this stuff. And they conduct 300 mass executions in one day. What? You think that's crazy? Well, first of all, I think killing 300 of your own people is wrong, but they did it. There's not much I can say but good about this one. But I do have another audio clip, so let's take a listen. And I thought this was funny, that the best thing Senator Inhofe could say about Kim Jong-un.
And the third question was on the capability of our intelligence.
I'm reasonably confident in the ability of our intelligence community to monitor the testing, but not the deployment of these missile systems. Kim Jong-un and his forces are very good at camouflage, concealment, and deception. We have a series of programs that I'd be happy to talk about in a classified setting that talk to the ability of our intelligence community, both military and civilian, to monitor those activities.
Yeah, and I think it's been said in outside of a classified hearing that the things that he has been doing make him, the nicest thing I can say about Kim Jong-un is he's totally unpredictable, and the most unpredictable of anyone I've ever had any kind of experience with or even reading about, and that's what's been scary to most of the people, and I assume you agree with that.
Yes, sir, I do agree with that assessment.
Okay, so don't take my word on it, but guess what? Kim Jong-un is unpredictable. And yes, I've been sitting here sorting through show prep. Trust me, I've always got something. But it's not organized again. The day I get on air with an organized stack of show prep and fly through the show without shuffling through a single piece of paper, take me off the air. I actually kind of enjoy thumbing through my paperwork because I never know where the show's going to go. All right. I am looking for the one about the 300 executions. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick, because it's in this stack somewhere. But wonder if it got sidetracked with my Christmas list. Nope, it's not going to anybody for Christmas. Well, that's good. I don't think you'd want the news article for Christmas anyway. It'd be kind of outdated by then. Alright, let me just pull it up, because I know right where it's hiding. But North Korea, remember, you watched the wrong TV show over in North Korea. You know what? We will take a commercial break because we have the freedom to do so. We're going to run along just a moment early, and I will have that story about the 300 executions when we come back on the other side. Yes, even in Radio Land, gotta pay them bills. Alright, so just as a reminder, you can join me in the chat room at klrnradio.com/chat, and you can tag me in a tweet at JusticePOV, and I will see you on the other side.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Most writers and radio show hosts know that to connect with your fans, you need to do more than just write books or record the latest podcasts. There are many different elements that go into forming an online platform, but there are also many hidden traps. To make matters worse, solid advice on how to survive the muddy waters is scarce. In the book Hidden Traps, I talk about some of the important issues of working with an online platform, highlighting traps that could put your physical or internet security at risk or be harmful to your reputation. Are your social media posts just links with a few disjointed words, making you look like someone who can't complete a sentence? Did your new website cost you more than you anticipated? Are you leaking your personal contact details across the web without even knowing it? Then you need Hidden Traps. Although Hidden Traps is not officially released until August 1st, you can pre-order your paperback or ebook copy now from a variety of retailers, including Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Kobo. Visit blackwolfpublications.com for more details.
Here's George Foreman with InventHelp.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp has been helping inventors for more than 30 years and has sales offices nationwide. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. If you have an idea and want to try to patent it and submit it to companies, you should call InventHelp today for free information.
Listen, I can't guarantee a company will be interested in your idea, but I believe every inventor deserves the opportunity to step into the ring and take their best shot. Put InventHelp in your corner.
To get your free inventor's information, call 1-800-353-6490. That's 1-800-353-6490. Again, 1-800-353-6490.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it. There to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-553-8687. That's 800-553-8687. Again, 800-553-8687. 687.
You can lay down if you wanna. You can run away if you wanna. You can pretend that this is totally okay if you wanna. You can play dead if you wanna. Forget what they said if you wanna.
Alright, just having some fun hanging out with everybody in the chat room at KLRNradio.com/chat. Yes, I was interacting with them while I was on commercial break. Yes, that's one of the advantages of listening from the chat room. Never know what information I'll let slip. So maybe it's something I don't want to put on the show, but I might tell you about it. Alright, thanks to my trusty printer, now located right behind me from its original position, I got that North Korean public execution story. And the list of crimes that you can get executed for in North Korea, well, let's just say you don't have to do as much as kill a police officer or murder someone. Some of the crimes that people were arrested for, and the public executions were on riverbanks, at school grounds, marketplaces, for charges for things such as stealing copper from factory machines, distributing media from South Korea. In other words, you've got a USB drive with a South Korean TV or movies. That is a capital offense in North Korea. Prostitution. And often there's extrajudicial decisions for public execution, and they're frequently influenced by quote-unquote bad family background or a government campaign to discourage certain behavior. So, fear not. There is a group called Transitional Justice Working Group, and it has interviewed 375 North Korean defectors. Remember last night we said over 30,000 people have successfully fled the Hermit Kingdom. And that's about, in the past couple years, if not the past year, I don't have the numbers in front of me. And they say that executions are common, and they're trying to document the locations of the public killings and mass burials, which have not been previously done. They're doing this so that when the Kim family falls, they can take the charges to the international courts and get crimes against humanity charges and possible death sentence for the leadership of North Korea. Now, of course, despite everybody and their brother-in-law, the UN, Amnesty International, everybody saying North Korea has horrible human rights, that's not how North Korea sees it. They reject charges of human rights abuses, saying its citizens enjoy protection under the Constitution, and they accuse the United States of being the world's worst human rights violator. Well, I'm not going to debate that issue, but I'm willing to say I'm not willing to travel to Pyongyang, but I'll go to Washington, D.C. any day. And I will leave the host's opinion there. The North has faced an unprecedented push to hold its regime and untangle my tongue here. The North has faced an unprecedented push to hold the regime and its leader Kim Jong-un accountable for a wide range of rights abuses since the landmark 2014 report by the United Nations. So they have considered referring North Korea and its leader to the International Criminal Court for Crimes Against Humanity. North Korea, of course, rejected the findings, and the push to bring the North to a tribunal remains stalled due to in part objections by, of course, ready to guess what two countries? China and Russia. Does that surprise anybody who's a regular listener to this show? Now, as we know, China is North Korea's big brother, and Russia, well, they've been a good trading partner for the last year or so. Executions are carried out in prison camps to incite fear and intimidation among potential escapees. Public executions are carried out for seemingly minor crimes, including theft of farm produce. So you steal some spare corn or spare rice, capital crime. Stealing electrical cables and other commodities from factories to sell, capital crime. Government officials are often executed on corruption and espionage charges. And bureaucrats from other regions have been made to watch as a deterrence tactic. So, North Korea, let's say, don't go there. We don't need to read about your prison sentence or execution on this show, my friends. And I have said it once, and I'll say it before. Syria, North Korea, and Iran are not friendly places for United States citizens at this time. Now, you show me one that falls and gets stabilized, I'm on the first plane. Why? I have a fascination with these places, and I want to see it before it changes too much. Alright. That is a long time on Quackers. We are going to move on to our other favorite topic. Oh yes, Iran. Now, no audio clips on this one because, well, I don't speak Farsi, do you? And all the good audio clips I could find were from Press TV and in Farsi, so I just let them lie. Because, well, there's no point in playing a clip nobody understands. At least nobody that I know of in my regular listening audience. President Hassan Rouhani has vowed that Iran will reciprocate sanctions that are imposed by the United States against the Islamic Republic under any pretext. Surely if Americans seek to apply sanctions against us under whatever title or pretext, the great nation of Iran would aptly respond to them. Hassan Rouhani has also threatened our troops on the ground in Iraq. Yes. Now, I've got some audio that actually speaks to that. I'm going to just play a little bit of audio roulette and see if I can grab it. And if not, we'll have it for another day.
But
the issue now becomes, as we reduce their effect as ISIS, is our long-term presence there. Do you have views on that? And also, I heard there was, claims at least by the Revolutionary Guards of Iran that if they're designated a terror group, they will retaliate against our forces. Can you give us any insights there?
Sir, on Iraq, the fighting's far from over. ISIS has lost their sanctuary in Mosul, but they still have a handful of small towns that they control in and around the province. President Abadi has a plan with the Iraqi security forces to begin a campaign with Steve Townsend's help and consent to clear those towns and move into Anbar province to secure their border with Syria. All important work, as that will deny ISIS sanctuary on both sides of the Syrian-Iraqi border. I share your concern. I read in this morning's papers about the Iranian Republican Guards, Quds Force, making a statement that if they are declared an international terrorist organization, that they will retaliate against our forces in Iraq. We will have to posture ourselves to be ready for that. But I don't think we should take that threat and keep it from taking action against the Quds Force.
All right, so basically, yeah, they've threatened. And General was kind of like, that's news. He doesn't think we should let Iran's threats stop us from doing what we need to do over in Iraq, despite the fact Iran is trying to stick its nose all the way into that pie. And if you don't forget, Bashar al-Assad, our friend in Syria, is propped up by none other than Russia and Iran. And of course, who's Russia's trading partner? North Korea. Who trades with Iran? North Korea. Why do I have a feeling that all roads right now lead back to North Korea? Yes, if you got that impression, you are right, because host opinion here, my friends, host opinion. I have a feeling North Korea will be part of the next big war, and not in a good way, my friends. Of course, the United Nations and EU have warned that the U.S. could not unilaterally rescind the Iran nuclear deal. They regard the deal as a triumph for diplomacy. Now, keep in mind, the Europeans have been dying to get back into trading with Iran on many commercial levels. And I've read you some of those successes on the air in this show. Everything from fashion to military hardware. Thank you, Russia. I mean, really. North Korea and Iran are trading partners. North Korea has exported every piece of weapons technology it has ever developed. Iran is threatening our citizens, our soldiers in Iraq. And of course, I'm including soldiers, sailors, airmen, and marine. I mean, come on. Now, got an Israeli story to round out the day. Oh yes, had to bring up the country of Israel. And for a reminder, folks, your show host is Jewish, but I will call them on the carpet if they're acting a fool. All right. Here's the article I wanted. Iran's military says the Tel Aviv regime plans to build a new field hospital in Syria. Yes, Israel is going to build a field hospital in Syria to treat militants. Amid concern over the regime's support for the Takfiri militants fighting in the Arab country, Lieutenant Colonel Tomer Kohler told reporters that the hospital would be located on the Syrian side of the fence, but on the Israeli side of the demarcation line in the Golan Heights, which is Syrian territory occupied by Israel. The fence built by Israel does not always comply precisely with the line. Fuller expressed hope that the hospital would be operational in the next month. He notes that Israel had delivered what he called humanitarian aid into Syria, including hundreds of tons of food and clothing, as well as fuel and equipment such as generators. Now, this is a Press TV article, so if you catch the undertones, trust me, they're there. Press TV, Iranian news. Syria has been gripped by foreign-backed militancy since 2011. Translation: Syrian Civil War. Now, of course, the Syrian government says Tel Aviv and its Western regional allies are aiding the Takfiri militant groups wreaking havoc in the country. There have been reports that Israeli offers medical treatment to terrorists wounded while operating in Syria in hospitals set up in the Golan Heights. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said Tel Aviv would continue treating wounded militants from Syria as part of what he claimed to be a humanitarian effort. Trust me, Israel, his first concern if you're bleeding is let's stop the bleeding and make you better. Now, of course, Israel does regularly hit positions held by the Syrian army in Golan Heights. Okay? Now, Damascus, of course, says it's to help the Takfiri. Israel says it's out of security. Israel has been providing Takfiri militants with funds and medical supplies. I believe the medical supplies. I'm not sure about the money. Haven't had time to chase it down for you folks. Alright, now there's one more article I meant to get to, and where is it hiding? You know I can't be that organized. Ah, yes. Yes, it's another Israel one. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was caught Wednesday by a live microphone railing against the European Union's quote-unquote crazy insistence on resolving the Israeli-Palestinian conflict as a precondition for closer ties with the 28-nation bloc. Trumpeting Israel is essential to its prosperity and survival. Netanyahu was meeting with the leaders of Poland, Hungary, the Czech Republic, and Slovakia at a regional summit. Netanyahu was discussing Iran, Syria, and Daesh and the EU-Israel relations when some of his comments and those of other leaders at the meeting closed to the media were accidentally broadcast to journalists in another room covering the conference. Netanyahu made the rare public admission that Israel has struck Iranian arms convoys in Syria bound for Hezbollah dozens and dozens of times. Now, remember, who funds Hezbollah? Iran. Iran, every week, about once a week, once every couple of weeks, death to Israel, death to America. Quite frankly, Netanyahu, way to go. The Israeli premier was overheard blasting the European Union's approach to Israel by saying it's crazy. I think it's actually crazy that EU maintains the resolve that the Israeli-Palestinian conflict must come before closer trade ties. There is no logic here. Europe is undermining its security by undermining Israel. Europe is undermining its progress by undermining the connection with Israeli innovation because of a crazy attempt to create conditions for peace with the Palestinians. European ties with Israel would determine whether the 28-member nation would live and thrive or shrivel and disappear, he added. EU-Israel relations have been tense for years, with Jerusalem feeling that Brussels is targeting its policies far too much while being soft on the Palestinians. While the EU is the main trading partner for Israel, frictions have persisted. The EU does not recognize Israeli sovereignty and wants it to return to the pre-1967 borders. Now, Israel claims these borders are indefensible. Remember, folks, we are talking about a piece of land approximately the size of the state of New Jersey. Yes. Netanyahu has pushed for closer trade ties with India and China in recent years. Earlier this month, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi paid a state visit to Israel, during which the two countries signed a number of trade agreements, cementing increasingly warm relationships. EU, you may be missing the boat if you don't get on with it. And yes, everybody wants peace in the Middle East. Oh, yes. Now, one more last fun Israel story, because I decided to end my show with Israel today. Radiohead have performed their much-anticipated concert in Israel after calls from protesters to cancel the show. This was a sold-out concert at KLRN Park in Tel Aviv. And campaigners have said the show is an insult to Palestinian people facing oppression in the country. According to, according to reports, Radiohead played a 27-song set and 2 encores, including hits such as No Surprise, Creep, and Karma Police. This comes the week after York defended the band's decision to play in the country, following criticism by award-winning British filmmaker Ken Loach. Loach wrote to the singer on Twitter that Radiohead needs to decide if they stand with the oppressed or the oppressor. And, of course, York of Radiohead responded, "Playing in a country isn't the same as endorsing its government." Explained that the band has played in both Israel and the U.S. for the last 2 decades. "We don't endorse Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu any more than we endorse Trump." He's also shown support for female Arab artist Nasreen Kadari, who wrote in U.S. publications Newsweek, "Those for call for the boycott are only trying to divide us. They are trying to shut down the music. I will not be part of that." The Tel Aviv show marked a close to Radiohead's 3-month global tour. So, Israel is a hot topic. It is one of those things that will have to be settled. However, the Israel-Palestinian conflict has gone on for very long. I'm not going to take the time to go into it now because I only got a couple of minutes left, and well, we could spend a couple of hours here. But, one, Israel is doing some good. Are they occupying territory that doesn't belong to them? I'm not going there. It would take me too long to explain my position. But what I will say is playing a concert in a country, I do not feel is the same as supporting the government. As an entertainer, you are there to entertain, amuse, and give people a respite from their everyday lives, which includes a respite from all the hatred that is spewed everywhere. All right, folks. We have almost reached the end of the show. Yes, believe it or not. What? Oh, I'll be back tomorrow. Don't you worry your pretty little head about it. And I thank you, Ron, for hanging out the whole show in the chat room. Oh, yes, thank you, Ron. And do you guys... Well, next up after me is the America Off the Rails at 11 o'clock with Ricky Robinson. So, you got an hour to kill. Did you miss Fubar, One Nation Under Fu? Did you miss Wentz's World? He had a really good show this week. Why don't you go find one of our podcasts? They're all over the place. iTunes, Google Play, Breaker, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Podcast.com, Pocket Cast, Blueberry, and many, many, many other places. Or go check out that Conversations in Science episode about called Heavy Water. It was the first episode. It was quite good about building nuclear weapons and how the nuclear material is refined and which one makes the bigger boom. Alright, folks. I am going to make my way on out of here. Oh yes, you regulars know what's coming. Those of you new to the show, welcome to the fun.